I chose my data set based on sales. So the title is used car sales. I chose this data set because it is related to sales, and as an owner of used car sales in Louisiana, um, which it is difficult to bring customers to buy used cars. So my problem statement would be how can I increase 20% more sales in Louisiana by 2021. So there are factors, the data set contains so many factors. So those factors could be the owner, the seller type, the name, the state, the kilometer driven, also, we have the power, um, the max power, the year. And with those factors, I had so many questions to answer. So, one of those questions would be which brands have the highest and lowest price? Which car brands have also the most in Louisiana? Which state have the lowest and highest used car price? Which states sold the most used car price? So, to answer those questions, I analyzed which location have the highest and lowest used car price in Louisiana and other states. I also analyzed the top 18 locations the top 18 locations, and it appeared that Louisiana has the highest used car price, and Texas and California sell the most used cars, and the state with the lowest used car price would be Tennessee. And second, I also analyzed the top expensive and non-expensive used car price in Louisiana and other states, and I compared them to make a better decision on how I can maximize my 20% more sales. So um, when we go to the regionality analysis, um, we can see that based on the chart, you can see that Louisiana has the highest used car price with an average of 51,355, and then the lowest would be Tennessee with an average of 28,471. And we can see that California sold the most used car, even though the price it's in the middle, but they sold the most used car. So when we move on to the used car analysis, you can see, so I analyzed the used car price by transmission. We have automatic and manual. We can see that manual has the lowest used car price, and then auto has the highest, such as BMW, we have Lexus, we have Mercedes that have the highest price, and we have Land, we have Jeep, and then used car based on in Louisiana, the highest would be Mercedes, Lexus, BMW, Land, Jeep, and then the lowest would be Chevrolet, Maruti, Ford, Tata, Hyundai, and yeah. So as we move on to the used car based Guardian price, you know that many customers would like to buy used car price based on quality and price. But so I compare them those quality based on Louisiana and California. So we can see that in Louisiana that the we have Maruti. Their average selling price is the lowest, but they have the best quality. So there's not much difference from Louisiana and California. So they are all the same. And I also can say that the price it's not influenced by those quality. So it can be influenced by the first owner. I mean, by the owner. For example, first owner, third owner, second owner, so as such. So when we move on to the used car price by owner, you can see that the individual has the lowest average selling price, as we can see that the average increase over time, and the dealership is the highest. So we can see that customers usually buy used car that has the lowest price. And by state, you can see that we have dealer and individual. The and we can see that Texas has the lowest used car price. used car price, and then for individual, we can see that Dow have the lowest, and the most selling car price would be California still. So yeah. My insights. So after determining used car price, used car by price, by kilometer driven, by state, I feel like the best thing I could do was to buy cars from other states that have the lowest price. So then I'm gonna be comparing the used car price from Louisiana to other states. So my comparison would be Louisiana and Tennessee. So as you can see, that Tennessee sells the lowest used car price. For example, we have BMW. You can see that the BMW in Tennessee have an average of 35,800, and then the Jeep, you can see the average in Tennessee is lower than Louisiana, and as for Mercedes. By state, you can see we have California, we have Louisiana, we have Mississippi, and we have Tennessee. And you can see that those um, states compared to Louisiana have the lowest average selling price. And by year, you can see that the average selling price increasing over time, and then once it hit 2020, you can see that it got low, it's decreasing. So we can see it might be because of the pandemic. So we can see that the price is also influenced by maybe natural disaster, or maybe anything that is not good for the environment, the world. So yeah. Okay, so as we move on, there's some comparison again from California to Louisiana. You can see that California has sold the most used car, and Louisiana has the highest used car price. So you can see that, for example, you can see that BMW for California is 54,285, and then we can see that Mercedes we have 37,000, and then the highest in Louisiana will be 67,200. And I also analyzed the used car by transmission. You can see we have first owner, fourth owner, second owner, and third owner. And we can see that the third owner has the lowest price. So that's where customers um, will buy used car by maybe first owner, second owner, or because it's the lowest price, so it'll be the third lower or the second lower. And some people would buy the first owner, but many people would usually buy the third owner or the second owner. Okay, my insights would be that Louisiana have the highest used car price with all the type of transmission, and also the best car to buy in Louisiana would be Toyota, Honda, Volkswagen, Ford, Hyundai, and Chevrolet. And the highest price in all states would be BMW, LED, Lexus, Mercedes, Jeep, Jaguar. And my recommendation to increase 20% of sales would be to distribute those cars that have the highest price in Louisiana to other states that have the lowest selling price, or we can also cut the highest price and sell them at a low price. So, for instance, we can import or export the selling brands such as BMW, led Lexus, and Mercedes to Tennessee and Massachusetts, and some can be imported or exported to California or Texas, because they sells the most used car, even though it might be expensive, but they have the best quality. We can also import brands that have the lowest price to, such as Ford, Chevrolet, Hyundai, Fiat, Tata, Maruti from Tennessee, and sell them in Louisiana. So another recommendation is, if you're purchasing like used car from dealership, I think it would be best to get it from Texas or import export Texas. And then if it is from individual, we have 6 states that we can import and export to. It would be Ohio, Michigan, New Hampshire, Washington, and then Idaho. So my general recommendation it would be to import and export those used car to uh, states that have the lowest selling price. So yeah, that's my recommendation.